A mountain rescue volunteer has been left paralyzed from his neck down after he suffered horrific injuries while trying to help two Covidiots. Chris Lewis, 60, and other volunteers had been called out when two wild campers got into trouble in the lake. The pair had traveled hundreds of miles in breach of lockdown restrictions and then called 999 in the middle of the night when one suffered chest pain. But his retired engineer Chris and his colleagues from Patterdale Mountain Rescue headed to help the men. He fell 500 feet down a ravine near He was rushed to hospital with multiple facial fractures and damage to his spine. He is still in intensive care nearly a fortnight later and is facing the prospect of the rest of his life. All four limbs are paralyzed, but medics hope he may get some feeling back in his arm. The men were fined £200 each, while locals in Cumbria have launched a fund to raise £500,000 to cover his future care costs. Generous supporters have already donated £100,000. His colleagues told of their delight at the outpouring of support for Chris, who they described as a fantastic guy. Richard Warren, chairman of the Lake District Search and Mountain Rescue Association, said, "The support has been overwhelming." Patterdale team leader Mike Rippon said Chris is likely to need 24-hour care for the rest of. He added, "Chris was an extremely fit and healthy man with the rest of his life to look forward to, but the injuries Hess suffered will change his life completely. Hess likely to have full paralysis but may recover a bit of movement in his arms. That's probably the best we can. Should never have been necessary. This was a proper life-changing incident that will leave Chris needing 24-hour care, which is just tragic." Mentally Hess fully there and Hess positive, and Hess passing on his best wishes to the rest of the team, which is humbling and also devastating as the team leader and trying to pick people up and rally everyone, but psychologically it's had a big effect. "I imagine wellness member." The team were within sight of the tent pitched by the two men when Chris lost his footing and their camp was precariously placed at the end of the terrace off the path, which meant access was risky. The Patterdale team was joined that night by the Langdale and Angleside and Penrith teams, with around 50 volunteers on the ground and an RAF search and rescue plane also combing the fells. For Mr. Rippon said, "If you're thinking of heading for the lakes this weekend, the messaging is clear. People should be exercising within 2 to 3 miles. We now have a colleague and friend in a quite terrible situation because he voluntarily took part in a rescue that should never have been necessary. People need to understand that they must stay at home." Fellow volunteer Ben Hammond, who was the first to get to Chris after he fell on February 6, said, "Hess a very experienced member of the team and is someone to look up to. Certainly his injuries are life-changing." Another colleague Mike Blakey said, "I've done this for 25 years. I can honestly say this was the worst rescue. I've seen some things in my time that you never expect to have to rescue one of your own." Hess having conversations with me already about where we are going to go in a wheelchair. Local residents slammed the two men who traveled to the lakes from Liverpool and Leicester. The 47-year-old from Leicester needed hospital treatment for chest pains but quickly recovered. Kate Whittenbury, who started one of the funds for Chris, said, "Local people are quite angry about it. It didn't really have to happen. They shouldn't have been here. I just thought something positive needed to be done to offset the negativity." Despite the anger aimed at the two campers, another volunteer Martin Cotterill said the rescuers were not there. He said, "We are there to help. We all love the fells. We are all mountaineers. We go out there because we think we can help people. Trying to judge is wrong. You can contribute to Chris'